Tokyo, Kyoto, U.S. President Donald Trump arrived in Japan, the first leg of his Asian trip, on Sunday for a three-day visit in which he will look to put on show with Prime Minister Shinzo Abe the strength of their country's defense alliance in the face of the North Korea threat while promoting their shared values. Air Force One touched down at the U.S. Yokota Air Base in the suburbs of Tokyo at around 10:40 a.m., as Trump made his first trip to Japan since his inauguration in January. In their summit Monday, Abe and Trump are likely to reconfirm the shared stance of applying the maximum possible pressure on North Korea to compel it to abandon its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. While Pyongyang has refrained from carrying out either nuclear tests or missile launches since the imposition of stricter UN sanctions in September, both Japan and the United States have kept the North Korea issue high on their agenda since and will remain on alert for further provocations timed to coincide with Trump's Asia tour. For the Abe administration, Trump's visit serves as an affirmation that the United States remains fully committed to defending Japan and shares its pressure, not dialogue stance on North Korea. For Trump, meanwhile, the visit offers the chance to win endorsement for the administration's Asia policy and its refusal to abandon the idea of military action in response to the threat posed by Pyongyang. While Abe has voiced support on a number of occasions for Trump's position that all options are on the table in responding to North Korea, he is set to reiterate his backing in person for the first time. On Sunday, the two leaders are scheduled to play golf together with Japanese professional golfer Hideki Matsuyama at a country club just outside Tokyo before having dinner together. After the summit the following day, Trump is scheduled to meet relatives of some of the Japanese nationals abducted by North Korea in the 1970s and 1980s. The meeting is a nod to Abe's repeated efforts to make the abduction issue a talking point for the Trump administration. Abe and other Japanese officials heaped praise on Trump's mention of prominent abductee Megumi Yokota, who was 13 years old when she disappeared in 1977, in his address at the UN General Assembly. Abe and Trump are also expected to share their concerns about maritime security issues, eyeing China's expansionary activities in the East and South China Seas and Indian Ocean. Trump's visit to Japan comes just ahead of the annual leaders' summits of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, members of which are engaged in territorial disputes with China in the South China Sea. He and Abe may use their meeting in Japan as an opportunity to align their thinking on the importance of a free and open Indo-Pacific region before urging the other leaders to affirm the same. Abe and Trump are also likely to stress their countries' continued cooperation on economic and trade issues while demurring on the specifics of future bilateral trade, a sticking point in the relationship. With Washington keen to pursue a Japan-US trade deal that would likely put Tokyo in a weaker negotiating position, the issue is being worked out in a dialogue framework helmed by Japanese Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Taro Aso and U.S. Vice President Mike Pence. Trump's visit will allow both he and Abe to boast of the strength of bilateral ties, with the U.S. president set to meet Emperor Akihito and Empress Michiko at the Imperial Palace on Monday ahead of his summit with Abe. On Sunday, Japanese Foreign Minister Taro Kono and U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will hold their own meeting on regional and bilateral issues. Ahead of Trump's visit, his eldest daughter and senior advisor Ivanka Trump spent 3 days in Tokyo through Saturday, during which she held talks with Abe and other officials. After leaving Japan on Tuesday, Trump is set to travel to South Korea and China before attending the regional meetings in Vietnam and the Philippines.